Greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where we are discussing climate change, abrupt climate change, and things adjacent. Going to bring you a quick Monday, well, now it's afternoon video. I was about to say morning. My mornings just tend to stretch out and stretch out. I just wanted to bring you a few items and bring you a new way past what the fuck entry. Oh yeah. So this might be old news, but Greta Thunberg nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Climate Strike founder put up for award ahead of global strikes planned in more than 105 countries. And this was from last Thursday from The Guardian. And I saw this the other day. I wanted to talk about it just briefly. She's been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize just before the biggest day yet of global action. There's also another big day of global action. You guys all know this, on April 15th. A lot of people are wondering why that wasn't Earth Day, which would be April 20th. But, if anybody should be nominated for a Peace Prize, it should be Greta Thunberg. I'll link the article below and move on to there's floods happening in England. Heavy flood warnings issued for England after heavy rain. Environment Agency says flooding expected early this week for rivers Dee and Severn. Flood warnings have remained in place across parts of England after torrential rain over the weekend. On Monday, there were 16 flood warnings in force, meaning flooding is expected down from 20 earlier and 25 flood alerts. Meaning flooding is possible. Most were in Yorkshire and the Midlands. None were in the most severe category. I also saw they're still feeling the effects in Nebraska. It's just a total mess there. I've been still seeing pictures today of very heavy damage in Nebraska and the Midwest. Also got a post about heavy rain in the United Arab Emirates. And I found this article. This is from yesterday. Why is it raining so much in the UAE? Here's the answer. You guys might find this interesting. Rain will definitely boost the country's water supply and help mitigate its reliance on seawater desalination. Since the UAE is a desert country and the weather is typically warm and sunny, rainfall is infrequent and does not last for a long period. It mostly rains during the winter period between December and March in the form of short downpours and occasional thunderstorms. However, as early as mid-October last year, at the tail end of summer, rain was reported in parts of the country from Midrif, Hatta, El Faka, and Mazyed to Masafi, El Falah, Mohammed bin Zayed City, and Al Dhafra area in Abu Dhabi, as well as some parts in the Northern Emirates. Residents have been enjoying the cool and occasionally rainy weather in the UAE for almost 6 months now. They are enjoying an extended cool period because of the rains, but none could be happier than the scientists and meteorologists at the National Center of Meteorology. The recent spate of downpours can be attributed to the success of cloud seeding, a process of enhancing the amount of precipitation in clouds and to boost rainfall by 10 to 30%, according to an NCM spokesperson. Rain through cloud seeding, which has been implemented in the UAE since the 1990s, will definitely boost the country's water supply, help mitigate its reliance on seawater desalination. In a recent op-ed column published by Khalij Times, Dr. Abdullah Ahmed Al-Mandous, NCM director, noted that, according to UN, almost half of the world's population could face high water stress by 2030. This is why the reason why UAE has been collaborating with some of the leading global institutions to explore how research and development can ensure water security. It's happening, guys. The geoengineering, the rain engineering, and I know a lot of y'all think that it's already happening. I am in that camp. Obviously, it is already happening. I mean, they're doing it right now. China, everywhere. Uh, Nearly 3 decades on from its initial work on cloud seeding, we are proud to continue to advance the vision of the leadership in leveraging cloud seeding for water security. What are the consequences of this? Obviously, we don't know what the long-term consequences of this are. Surely they can't necessarily be good. So I'm going to link this below. Interesting article. Totally accidental that I ran across it, but there you go. It's going to happen, guys. I mean, the screwing around with the weather, the screwing around with the planet, the geoengineering, it's already happening, and it is going to happen, and it's going to happen more and more. So it's imperative, or maybe not. Maybe there's, maybe this is just a last gasp, before everything falls apart. But if we, care about having a future, it's imperative that we actually discuss these things and discuss them and have some transparency around them and be able to discuss what the effects are and what we, should be doing, as opposed to just willy-nilly going out there and just doing, whatever sounds good, which I'm sure. Give me 1 second. And lastly, I just wanted to read this article from Michael Campy from Way Past What the Fuck. This is from Thursday, March 14th, titled Lost. All these moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die. That is a quote from Blade Runner. The last scene with Rutger Hauer. I look around at all the things in my office that I value and struggle to cope with the idea that all of it will soon be gone. There is going to be no enduring legacy. My name, like all the others, will be forgotten and buried in the dust and ashes of a dead planet. This is not easy. It gets less easy with each passing day. The feeling of impending doom is with me at all times. It appears in my dreams and has me waking up soaked in sweat and panting with fear. I have tried to come to grips with it, but that has eluded me so far. Instead of looking forward, I drift back to the time before my eyes were fully opened. I have always known that things were not quite right, not quite as they appeared, but now that knowledge has blossomed, a flowering, poisonous plant reaching tentacles deep into my soul. I cannot talk to many people about this. I cannot really wrap my head around Facebook groups that offer support because, like everything on the internet, it has a hollow ring to it. It appears to be something that each of us will have to accept and deal with on our own. Learning how to die is not covered in any textbook or class. Learning that you have an expiration date and that date is rapidly approaching has begun to wear me down. It has to do, I think, with plans, lists of things that I would like to do, goals that I would like to achieve. Less than a year ago, I wanted to pay off my house, start a new business, climb all the peaks in the mountains that surrounded the valley I live in, and go to Europe. These have mostly been supplanted by my new goal, which is learning to die with dignity and composure. Roy Scranton said in his book, Learning to Die in the Anthropocene, that Plato argued that to philosophize is to learn to die. If that's true, then we have entered humanity's most philosophical age, for this is precisely the problem of the Anthropocene. The trouble now is that we must learn to die not as individuals, but as a civilization. How does a civilization come to grips with its mortality? It's a hard question, and one with no easy answers. It is not a 2 + 2 = 4 sort of thing, more like staring into the abyss and having the abyss stare back. Ultimately, you will be absorbed into the darkness. You will become the shadows that you fear, and when that happens, you will understand. There is a point of no return. Hunter S. Thompson said, the edge. There is no honest way to explain it because the only people who really know where it is are the ones who have gone over. no one has yet to go over. We are living in a time with no precedent. There is no touchstone, no place or thing that will serve as an anchor. We are adrift in a sea of indecision and fear. We are going over the edge, and no one knows what lies at the bottom of the cliff. The hounds of hell are on our trail now, and they are getting closer. You can hear them howling on windy nights, and if you breathe deeply, you can smell their fetid breath on your neck. We are being chased down, and no matter how fast you run, you cannot stay ahead of what is going to happen. When the powerful jaws of the near future sink its teeth into your legs, you will go down, and we all will, screaming in pain and choking on the fouled air. If you haven't begun to accept this end, yet perhaps it is time to get your ducks in a row. Say goodbye to everything and everyone you know and love. There is still time for that. Anyone who has watched a relative or friend slowly die will understand on a deeper level what this is like. We are all there now. I personally will move out of the city and open a bar with live music and stiff drinks, a place to hang your hat, have a few laughs, and then drift off into oblivion. It seems like a good dystopian picture for the future, however short-lived that future may be. Well, I hope you will have me as a musician in that bar at the edge of oblivion. Michael Campy. Maybe I can be a resident musician singing the Anthropocene blues. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. If you would like to support this channel, you can do so at the links below. I haven't gone live for a while, guys, and I realize that. I've been meaning to get back to it. Just things have been wrapped up in some music projects and some other things. So, you know, my time is even getting squeezed smaller and smaller. But I would like to try and do a live stream maybe sometime this week. I'm not sure exactly when, but I will give you all a heads up when I do that, okay? Until next time, peace.